appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello everyone, this is CoreTV Primetime News with Nifemi Oguntoye. In our major story, President Goodluck Jonathan promises Nigerians a secure future and free and fair elections in his New Year broadcast. Also in this program, the All Progressives Congress commends the commitment of President Jonathan and the People's Democratic Party to a free, fair and violence-free elections this year. Audu Ogbe to lead sales of yam tubers to raise 5 billion naira for APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari. Outside Nigeria, Egypt's highest court orders the retrial of 3 jailed Al Jazeera journalists. Happy New Year to you, and we'll begin with Mr. President's New Year's message, where he assured Nigerians of a secure future, adding that his administration will remain focused on governance in spite of the general elections. The president also saluted the gallantry of the armed forces while reaffirming government's resolve to bring to an end insurgency and terrorism. He gave the assurance while delivering the customary New Year address to the nation from the presidential villa in Abuja. Nigeria's #1 citizen further laid down the law for anyone who disrupts public peace before, during and after the elections, as well as expressing continued support for African countries still affected by the Ebola virus disease.
Dear great people of our nation, I greet and felicitate with you all as we enter the new year today. As we mark the beginning of this new year, 2015, a new nation is being born. We have contended with the normal challenges of nation building and the unusual challenges of terrorism. But we have continued to vigorously confront those who seek to destroy the bonds of unity that hold us together. On this first day of the new year, I want to pay special tribute to the gallant officers, men and women of our armed forces and other security agencies who have been in the forefront of the war against terrorism and violent extremism in our country and sub-region. We are re-equipping and repositioning our armed forces to enhance their capacity to win the ongoing war against terror and insurgency. Regrettably, terrorists have unleashed much pain and agony on our land. They have made widows of our mothers and sisters and orphans of our children. They have shut down businesses, desecrated places of worship, and brought untold hardship to both men and women.
And in a swift reaction to that, the APC says the statement of President Goodluck Jonathan in his New Year message restating his commitment to the conduct of free, fair and violence-free elections this year is a welcome development. The party, however, urged the president to match the commitment with words in the broadcast which he had earlier. In a statement in Lagos on Thursday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party secretary expressed satisfaction that the president and his party had come out publicly to join the APC in pledging commitment to successful and violence-free polls next month. APC, however, said the best way to make the elections free, fair and devoid of violence was for the federal government to ensure a level playing field for all the parties by not tampering with the independence of INEC, not using the security agencies to oppress and intimidate the opposition, and not deliberately disenfranchising qualified voters. It stated its assurance to Nigerians that the international community that it will do all in its power to make sure that the 2015 election is violent-free. Now, a coalition of social political groups in the southeast says President Goodluck Jonathan must start fulfilling promises that he made to the Igbos or risk losing their support in the forthcoming presidential election. The groups who made the demand after meeting in Enugu say the president has not shown enough appreciation for the massive votes he received in the southeast in 2011. The associations that formed the coalition are Igbo Traders Congress, Igbo Women Assembly, Umuada Ala Igbo, Igbo Students Association, Igbo Youth Movement, Southeast Self-Determination Coalition, and Eastern Christian Council. National President of the Igbo Women Assembly and a member of Igbo Leaders of Thought, Maria Okwo, noted that Igbos are not pleased with the way they are being treated by the federal government. The woman leader urged Jonathan to start redeeming outstanding promises he made to the Igbos before the forthcoming elections. She also expressed reservations about the state of infrastructure in the southeast, noting with regret that the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway is still not motorable. Okwo also frowned at what she described as the way Jonathan has been reaching out to Igbos through businessmen like Arthur Eze and Ifeanyi Uba, whereas Igbos have credible leaders like Professor Ben Nwabueze, former President Alex Ekweme, and others. Former People's Democratic Party National Chairman Audu Ogbe will on January 4 inaugurate the sale of 5 million tubers of yam donated by farmers to raise 5 billion naira for All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari and his deputy Yemi Osinbajo. The public relations officer of the APC Microfinance Cooperative Society Limited, Felicia Yaxim, disclosed this in a statement on Thursday in Jos that the sales would commence at Mararaban Demshin in Kwanpan local government area of Plateau State. She said an APC organized New Year wrestling tournament and the job opportunities for Shibaju and Buhari supporters will also be inaugurated. Yaxum disclosed that Ogbe was behind the YAM initiative and has been appointed chairman for the sales. The spokesman said JOBS, acronym for Jobs Opportunity for Buhari supporters, will also create opportunities for the unemployed youths nationwide to be engaged meaningfully to enhance their lives. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party says the choice of Yemi Osinbajo as the running mate of Muhammadu Buhari will not save the APC from defeat in the 6 states of the Southwest. Chairman of the PDP in Osun State, Ganiyu Olaoluwa, who was speaking to newsmen in Osogbo, says Osinbajo does not have the capability to sway voters in the Southwest to vote the APC presidential candidate. Olaoluwa, while predicting victory for President Goodluck Jonathan in the 2015 general election, says the nation needed a focused leader like Jonathan to continue to run the affairs of the nation. He says the APC presidential running mate is not known to the people of the Southwest and added that the people will not vote for someone who has no impact in the region, while also challenging him to point out anything he has done for the region as an individual. He added that PDP has addressed all the internal wrangling and is going into the general elections much more united. Also, the People's Democratic Party in Anambra State has initiated contempt proceedings against the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atahiru Jega, for allegedly flouting an order of a federal high court in Abuja. The order flouted by Jega, allegedly flouted by the INEC chairman, was said to have restrained INEC from accepting any delegate list or nominated candidates from the Congress's or primaries conducted by the caretaker committee set up by the party's national leadership to manage the affairs of the PDP in Anambra State. The contempt suit was filed on December 31, 2014 by the chairman and legal secretary of Anambra PDP, Ejike Ogwebego, and Chuk Sokoye, for themselves and the State Executive Committee of the party. Justice Evo Chukwu of the Federal High Court, Abuja, had, in its December 5, 2014 judgment, affirmed the plaintiff's leadership of the party. The court restrained INEC and its agents from accepting any delegate list or nominated candidates from primaries or congresses conducted by the illegal committee. The Anambra PDP, led by Ogwebego, hinged its prayers on the grounds that INEC and its chairman were yet to obey the December 5 order and that their refusal to obey the order had adversely affected the nominated candidates that emerged from the National Assembly primary it conducted. Away from there now to Ekiti State, where teachers say they have no regrets for voting against ex-Governor Kayode Fayemi in the June 21, 2014 governorship election in the state. The teachers, who spoke through their umbrella body, the Nigeria Union of Teachers Ekiti chapter, said they voted against Fayemi for his introduction of anti-teachers policies. The union was reacting to a program anchored on Adaba FM in Akure, Ondo State, where some teachers were said to have phoned Fayemi, who featured in a live program, and apologized to him on behalf of others, having made a comparison of his administration with the present one. The NUT chairman, Samuel Akosile, in a statement on Thursday, says those who apologized are Fayemi's apologists and not members of the union. He advised the former governor to refrain from dragging the body into politics, while also describing the statement credited to All Progressives Congress, commending the teachers for showing remorse and tendering apologies as uncalled for. The crisis rocking some communities in Nasarawa State is taking its toll now on many inhabitants and has forced many of them out of business. But some members of the largely agrarian communities have now converted their farming skills into creating a local quarry. Paul Samuel reports that the aged ones are also passing on the newly acquired skills to their children.
A truckload of these stones from this local quarry is sold for between 3,000 and 5,000 naira. That's about $30. But it takes this family almost a month to break and gather this pile. For now, they have to break some more stones to add up to this before putting them up for sale. This is the rock they blasted. They do it by igniting fire around it for hours and sometimes days. They trek long distances in search of sizable mountain which they could explore. After a long search, they finally settle here. But first, one may wonder what these children will be doing here when other kids are in school. Adamu is 11 years. He says he ran from his village when gunmen invaded the community and killed all his family members. For him, survival means a lot, hence the need to engage in this business.
This job is stressful. I have never done this kind of job before. I left school in the village because some people came to our village and started shooting and killing people, so I had to run for my life.
The experience of what bedeviled their village is still a shock to this little girl. So, she says helping her mother here became necessary, as all their property and farm produce have been destroyed by gunmen. She maintains that she will want to go to school, but for now, this local quarry site is all that the family has for survival.
We have been working here for some time. We have to work hard every day. I want to go to school, But my mother have no money to send me to school.
From the same site, there are varieties of stones. This woman, apart from blasting the rock, she also can sense where some other rocks are hidden in the ground. So, she had to dig for several minutes before she could find the stones. As they continue in search of their daily bread, they still nurse hope that respite will come their way soon to enable them go back to their village. For these kids, breaking of stone is a daily routine before they will be able to have bread on their table. And today, they have also resumed here as early as 5:30 a.m. to make sure that they have the quantity of stones that they desire that will give them the financial strength they are looking for. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Nasarawa, Egon.
You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take a break now and we'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Mommy Bola le karo. Yakudi, e karo customer.
Make we dey always follow our conscience because they tell us the correct thing.
I suppose Sabi waiting good.
Do the right thing. Let's change the way we think.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, it's CoreTV Primetime News. A quick reminder of our top stars. President Goodluck Jonathan promises Nigerians a secure future and free and fair elections in his New Year broadcast. The All Progressives Congress commends the commitment of President Goodluck Jonathan and the People's Democratic Party to a free, fair and violence-free elections this year. Audu Ogbe to lead sales of yam tubers to raise 5 billion naira for APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari. And you can also get all of our top stories on any of the social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle is at CoreTVNewsAG and we're streaming live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space and news. Moving on now, the police authorities have directed their operatives to remain alert as Muslims celebrate the birth of Prophet Muhammad on Friday. Inspector General Police Sulaiman Abba also wants all commands and formations nationwide to improve security arrangement put in place since the beginning of the festive season. And while acknowledging the hard work of officers and men during the Christmas, Boxing Day and New Year festivities, the IGP urged them to be more professional in the course of discharging their duties. The abstinence of Nigeria from voting at the United Nations Security Council on the 2017 pullout of Israel from Palestine has been condemned by the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. Speaking through its Secretary General, Isiaq Oloyede, the council says the abstinence of Nigeria from voting has jeopardized the nation's image. Oloyede added that the abstinence of Nigeria has helped in truncating the possible resolution of the 66-year-old crisis ravaging the Middle East.
Being on the side of justice, on the side of liberation, take it from South Africa to even Bosnia and all the rest. Nigeria's position had always been very firm on the part of liberation and freedom of the people. We were therefore surprised, amazed at the turn of events at the Security Council, where 9 votes are required for endorsement of freedom for the people of Palestine, only for Nigeria, having played a mischievous role of extending or expressing its well-known position about liberation, turning around immediately after communication with some so-called leadership of the foreign affairs managers, and turning around to abstain from voting for this historic resolution of the 66-year-old crisis. The Nigerian Supreme Council is very, very sad about this situation, and we feel that the Nigerian government had betrayed the people of Nigeria and had created a very, very serious problem for our foreign policy. We believe that what Nigeria has done, they are just done, is not only a somersault in terms of policy, foreign policy of Nigeria, it's also a slap on those people who are lovers of freedom all over the world. And one could not explain why this ought to be so. It is inexplicable, except that we believe the Nigerian government is carrying its domestic divisive policies, is carrying it to external foreign policy of the country, and this is very sad. And as Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, we want to register our strong condemnation of the decision of the federal government of Nigeria, and to say that for whatever must have influenced that position of the federal government is condemnable by all people, of all lovers of peace, all lovers of liberation all over the world.
Well, Nigerians, though religious to a fault, are known to few places of worship on New Year Eve. Now, this yearly take has become cultural in a way and comes with various clergy prophesying about the expected goodness of God that is awaiting their followers in the new year. The presiding pastor of the Agape Christian Church in the Agege area of Lagos, Kayode Adeosun, says the occasion to appeal to Lagosians, count their blessings and be tolerant to each other.
Some of you will ask, maybe you saw some goodness, but you don't know where God is in all this goodness. You saw, business came through a friend, job opportunities came, but you don't know that God always walked through people. So whatever you have seen in life in 2014 that looks like this goodness is Baba.
For his part, the pastor in charge of the Christ Apostolic Church, otherwise called Blessed Family in the Ifako-Ijaye area of the state, Kehinde Ogunshaki, the 2015 general elections appear his top priority. He advised his congregation to vote their conscience during the polls. The bulk of the crossover night has also caught up with the Muslims. The Yaya Abatan Central Mosque in Ogba area of the state was a beehive of activities as members celebrate the occasion with fanfare and recited the Quran in acknowledgement of the new year. In Osun State, however, the new year was ushered in a grand style with the unveiling of what is said to be the largest and tallest gong in Africa to show the rich cultural background of the state. Governor Rauf Arabishala likened the expiration of the 2014 year and ushering in of 2015 to the scenario to be expected after the forthcoming presidential election. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
The year 2014 has been a special one in Osun State. Chairman of the ruling party in the state, Olugboyega Famodu, believes 2014 has been an eventful year.
It has been a unique year. It has been an election year. And we thank God that Almighty God has seen us through the rigors of the 2014 election.
The governor, Rauf Arabishala, describes bidding 2014 farewell and welcoming 2015 as a sign of what to expect when the APC takes over government at the federal level. Trust Arabishala to demonstrate this in style.
Bye bye to Dagba.
'Osun also welcomes the new year in a grand style by unveiling Africa's tallest and largest gong. 2015 in Osun, in the words of this activist Wahid Lawal, will be a year of new feats of achievement, as a former commissioner for integration Bashir Ajibola submits that the development plan of the state government will be pursued rigorously in 2015, citing the unveiling of the gong as a tip of the iceberg.
Making us to pass through the year 2014 in a most vibrant and successful manner. And with what we witnessed in 2014, we believe in 2015, Osun will show a classical example of a leading light in progressivism in Nigeria.
Of this administration, every year we mark the coming of the new year in grand style, and we add a unique aspect to it, the unveiling of the tallest gong in the whole world. It's part of the 6th Integral Action Plan to enhance communal living in the state of Osun.
As 2015 is being ushered in all over the world, resolutions might be coming from everywhere, nooks and cranny, but resolution after resolution in the year 2015, it is fun time for people who welcome in 2015 as a way of having a new year indeed. Rashid for TV News, Oshogbo.
And how did it go in Lagos? It's the yearly Lagos Countdown. The 4th series was rounded up in the early hours of Thursday. The heavily backed public-private sponsorship event is under the auspices of the Lagos State Signage and Advertising Agency, LASA. CoreTV News reports that the 2014 edition was also beamed live before a global television audience and broke its previous attendance record of over 100,000 by 100%. Means about 200,000 people actually gathered there. Here's the report.
You can call it a night of razzmatazz and you won't be out of place. Such is the splendor of the 2014 edition of the Lagos Countdown. From the beginning, it was obvious that the over 200,000 audience parked at the coastline of the Lagos Atlantic on Victoria Island were in for a time of their lives. A real deal for that matter. The proper countdown started ticking down the line from 20 seconds the top of the hour at 10 p.m. and gradually hit the 12 midnight mark. Suddenly, the atmosphere changed, and what appears an endless streaks of fireworks rent the chilly skyline of the Atlantic. From then on, the stage was set on fire as artiste after artiste thrilled the ever-demanding audience to their hit songs. The music session later paved way for the state governor Babatunde Fashola to give his parting remarks. Obviously, the occasion marked his last as governor. As usual, he did not disappoint Lagosians at the show.
Are you having fun? If you're having fun, make some noise. This is the last time I will speak to you at the countdown as your governor. But it's been a very interesting journey. And when I became governor by your votes in 2007, this was what I wished for on this waterfront. That we can put together a show of this quality, of this size, and of this significance. And tonight, I feel particularly fulfilled that with your support, it has happened.
Again, the show continues. So how would the audience judge this year's edition that attracted people from far and wide?
Beautiful, it's a fantastic party. This is what we came here for the Lagos Countdown. It's been great.
It's been an excellent experience. Like the whole idea of Lagos has been fulfilled perfectly in this moment. Like everyone has had such a great time. It's quite clear from how much enjoyment people have showed. It's been a really interesting experience.
My impression about the Countdown 2014 is there is great heights for us in Nigeria. It's obvious that Lagos State is on the world map. That's what it's done. We are on the world map. And I'm happy to be associated with it because every year it's getting nicer, it's getting safer. As a DG of Safety Commission, we work together with LASA.
And for the managing director of LASA, George Noah, the major brain behind the concept, the show can only get better year in, year out.
We challenge ourselves, very well. I have a wonderful team, very talented, young, energetic, brilliant, members of the Countdown team. So it can only get better every year.
The whole thing could not have come cheap. So where did all the money for the show come from?
This is public-private partnership. And, the state government provided the infrastructural support, LOMA, LASMA, LASAMBOS, fire, brigade. Those are the kind of things. And the private sector provided the financial support to enable this to be a success.
In the words of the organizers, things can only get better, as the Lagos Countdown only has itself to beat and contend with, at least for now.
Looks like you missed out if you were not in Lagos yesterday. Well, it's another new year, a season when Nigerians and indeed people around the world salute themselves with goodwill messages. In Nigeria, the season has come with a ritual of some sort as people go about making resolutions. So what exactly is the big deal about New Year resolutions? Oluwaseyi Adegoke puts the question to some Nigerians on the straight. And the response packaged in this report.
Perhaps one is tempted at this time to say it is different strokes for different people when it comes to what is popularly known as New Year resolution. It is not often you hear people make blanket resolutions that do not center on their individual needs. These Nigerians would rather seek to promote their kind gestures better than they did before now.
My New Year resolution is to be more polite to people, more cherished to people. People that don't know, I should go to them, like them, do more that I've not been doing before, do more things like giving arms to people.
My New Year resolution is to reconcile with all my friends.
This year, I want to be involved in more politics. I want to spend most of my time in politics, putting smile in the faces of ordinary Nigerians. That's my main concern.
I wish to be a good man, and then to focus, to be a happy man.
The desire for peace across the country and the zeal for patriotism may have been of utmost concern for some Nigerians. The only thing that will give them more satisfaction in 2015 is to see the end of Boko Haram. You may want to ask, what manner of resolution is this?
We thank God, glory be to God, that we are praying this 2015 to give us blessing. That we are praying that of this Lagos, let God answer. It's not only Lagos, for this Nigeria, let God answer us.
To let everything be all right in Nigeria. No more killing.
Only this Nigeria alone can forsake their sin. Nigeria will be better.
A New Year resolution is to wish to pray and work hard and see that we support a government to achieve the resolution of this country.
Everything I believe in God's will. In God's will. That God should allow His will to prevail in this country. In our lives, as in all our sectors, political sectors, religious sectors, educational sectors, power sectors, God should allow His will to prevail.
How much of these resolutions will be kept by the end of 2015 is primarily the concern of those who bear the cross.
You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll return after this break with business, sports, and some stories outside Nigeria. That's if you stay with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Glad to have you join us again. And business tonight, Department of Petroleum Resources is currently under pressure as a result of falling oil and gas reserves, which is a threat to the country's economy. The agency has developed short and medium-term strategies to increase the reserves while also putting in place long-term strategies targeted at sustaining the reserves. The DPR, as part of efforts aimed at developing the reserves, also plans to undertake more seismic data coverage for better regional and basinal studies and drilling of exploration wells in the short to medium term. It's also working towards active exploration, drilling for deeper plays in the short to medium term, while it also hopes to implement better recovery methods for the short, medium and long term. On sport, Tottenham Hotspur youngster Musa Yahaya and Chidere Eze from Portuguese club FC Porto have both promised to join up with the Flying Eagles squad by the January 15 deadline handed them. Team Secretary Awal Ali Ibrahim says follow-up on the release of the foreign pros called up for the African Youth Championship is ongoing, and so far the signals have been very encouraging. He went on to confirm that Musa Yahya has promised to join the team, and Chidera Eze, who also gave the assurance of joining the team before the January 15 deadline set by the coach for all overseas-based players to report to the training camp in Kaduna. Chidera Eze, Sweden-based Taiwa Wanayi, and Musa Mohammed are so far the only pros now training with the AYC-bound squad. Other foreign pros called up include Moses Simon, Kingsley Madu, Isaac Success, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Chidebere Onwakala. Meanwhile, the team will open 2015 with an endurance drill on the morning of New Year's Day. Flying Eagles assistant coach Nduka Ubade says the African Continental Hotel in Kaduna, which has severally been home to the Nigeria under-20s, plans a special treat for the squad thereafter. To other stories outside Nigeria, Egypt's top court has ordered a retrial of 3 Al Jazeera journalists jailed on charges of spreading false news. Well, the decision was made after the hearing in Cairo of an appeal by the 3, Peter Grest, Mohammed Fahmy, and Bara Mohammed, against their conviction. Prosecutors acknowledged major problems with the verdict. Defense lawyers say a new trial will occur within a month, but the trial must stay in custody. Al Jazeera called on the authorities to release its journalists quickly, and the journalists denied the charges, which included collaborating with a banned Muslim Brotherhood after the overthrow of President Mohamed Morsi by the military in 2013. They say they were simply reporting the news. 2 of them are foreign nationals. Peter Gress, a former BBC correspondent, is Australian, and his producer colleague Mohammed Fahmy holds Egyptian and Canadian citizenship. The 3 journalists have now spent a year in jail since they were first arrested in December 2013. They were convicted in June, with Fahmy and Gress jailed for 7 years and Mohammed for 10 years. Judges have, however, ruled that they should remain in custody until the new trial. Before we go on the news tonight, a quick reminder of our major stories. We reported that President Goodluck Jonathan has promised Nigerians a secure future, as well as a free and fair election in this New Year broadcast. Reacting to that, the APC has commended the commitment of President Jonathan and the People's Democratic Party to a free, fair and violence-free elections this year. Audu Ogbe to lead sales of yam tubers to raise 5 billion naira for APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari. And thank you for staying with us on CoreTV Primetime News. Wishing you a happy New Year and, of course, a pleasant night rest. On behalf of everyone here, I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.